Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in. What if I told you that pretty much everything you think you know about eco-friendly policies is totally wrong? Yeah, today we're going to look at some fascinating data that absolutely shatters conventional wisdom.
So here's a really simple question. Think buying a highly fuel-efficient car saves the planet? Like, does better gas mileage literally equal less gas used overall? Brace yourself, because the data says the answer is a massive no. 5.1%. That's the number. See, the government in India rolled out these strict new fuel economy standards, and they were aiming for a massive 22% drop in fuel consumption. But when economists actually bypassed the theoretical models and analyzed millions of real-world driving records, the actual savings crashed to a measly 5.1%, an epic failure. It's the classic story of good intentions and absolutely terrible results. And honestly, it brilliantly illustrates a brutal truth. Human behavior completely derails common sense government policies. We don't act like spreadsheets. We act like humans. We respond to incentives in ways that drive policymakers totally crazy.
Section 1. The Weird Market, India's Dual Fuel Paradox.
Okay, so to understand this, look at India's new car market back in 2010. Petrol cars held 66% of the market, and diesel held 34%. Now, in India, diesel isn't just for massive commercial trucks. It's a huge consumer staple. And why? Because the government heavily subsidized diesel as a, quote, poor man's fuel. Naturally, consumers rush to buy them. I mean, think about it. Driving a petrol sedan costs 4.05 rupees per kilometer. Diesel? Only 2.46 rupees. That is a massive 40% discount on every single kilometer you drive. Cheap fuel plus a highly efficient engine equals incredible daily savings. Section 2. The rebound effect. More efficient equals more waste. And right here is the ultimate slap in the face to common sense. Petrol hatchback owners drove about 14,500 kilometers a month, but diesel owners? A staggering 24,000 kilometers. It's wild. Because it's so much cheaper to drive, diesel owners just hit the road 66% more. They don't pocket the savings, they consume more. So the crucial point is this exact predictable cycle. Step 1, you buy a super fuel-efficient car. Step 2, you realize, wow, driving is incredibly cheap now. Step 3, you drive way more. And step 4, you completely erase the original fuel savings. This behavioral loop is exactly why that big 22% savings goal completely crashed to just 5.1%. Section 3. Fixing the problem. Tax the car or tax the fuel. Now, academics use some incredibly dense math to figure this out. It's called the Harbinger formula. It calculates economic welfare and policy efficiency, and honestly, it looks absolutely terrifying. But let's snap away from the math for a second, because here is the brutal truth in plain English. You basically have two choices. The stupid way, taxing the car, and the smart way, taxing the fuel. Check this out. Slapping a massive 25% tax on new diesel cars only reduced total fuel consumption by a tiny 2.35%. But equalizing the tax on the fuel itself, that achieved a 7.18% reduction. Basically, taxing the car is incredibly weak. Why? Because consumers simply do not care about the car tax. You can slap a heavy tax on the car, and what happens? People just shift to buying petrol cars instead. And then they keep right on driving. Punishing the purchase literally doesn't alter their daily habits at all. Section 4. The magic of fuel taxes. Okay, look at this number. Negative 1.39 rupees per liter. Researchers found that taxing diesel cars actually creates a negative deadweight loss. What does that mean in normal terms? It means society technically gets richer. See, the car tax forces consumers to switch to petrol cars. And since petrol is heavily taxed, the government accidentally collects a mountain of new revenue. It's great for the treasury, but terrible for actually saving fuel. So why are fuel taxes the only smart way? Well, first, it targets daily driving behavior. Every single time you start the engine, you feel the cost. Second, it eliminates that nasty rebound effect. You simply can't afford to drive more. And third, it directly accounts for environmental damage. You pay for exactly what you burn. Taxing usage is really the only way to genuinely alter human behavior. Section 5. Anti-intuitive ultimate truths. Here is the definitive conclusion from the researchers themselves, and it hits the nail right on the head. If the goal is to reduce fuel consumption, this is most effectively done by taxing fuel rather than cars. Punishing the car buyer does absolutely nothing if the fuel itself remains artificially cheap. Human nature will always exploit cheap fuel.
So, I really want to leave you with this. Next time a politician stands up and promises to save the planet by banning a certain type of car or mandating better gas mileage, ask yourself one simple question. What happens to the price of the fuel? Because if the fuel is cheap, people are just going to drive more. It's pure human nature. Keep questioning those everyday policies around you, and thanks for joining me on this Explain.